Hello folks, this is Roz, otherwise known as Ironbeer, and today is a day of great sadness for me, and that is because my normal background that you would see me playing is not here. There is no more 4-pack sealed events on Magic the Gathering Online, and it makes me very sad. So, in lieu of this, I'm going to be jumping into a RTR Draft event, and we'll see how I can do there. I'd like to do more of a introduction, but right now I have to start taking a look at these picks here, and I will be playing today with the theMTGnoob, as usual. Let's see what we have here. Our rare is terrible. Is it Key Rune? Fencing Ace. Syncopate is okay. Spawnerix Made. Dynacharge. Solar Songbirds. There isn't a whole lot in here. I could probably just go with a Courser's Accord and be happy with that. From there, it looks like we are past a Bluster Squall, which is pretty good for the blue. Also Dramatic Rescue, Void Wielder. Wow, this is a really stacked blue pack. Inspiration is okay. Truth's Deliverance is eh. Labracru's okay. Solar Songbirds is kind of just suboptimal. I think here it's probably a question of either Dramatic Rescue or Void Wielder. Both are strong cards. We could try to ride the Populate train of victory with Solar Songbirds, but I'm not really sure that's second pick worthy. So let me go ahead and spring out the card here and then get rid of this jibber jabber. Looking at these, I think we'll just go with the Dramatic Rescue here. It's kind of just the safer pick. Dryad Militant, Dreg Mangler is fantastic. Bluster Squall, another Bluster Squall. Daggerdome, Eyes in the Skies is fantastic. Explosive Impact, also very good. I think here, getting past cards, well, let's see. Eyes in the Skies, we won't really be passing any Selesnya except for this Dryad Militant. I think we could take Eyes in the Skies and see if we can continue on the Selesnya path. Selesnya is probably, well, maybe definitely the strongest guild of the set. So being in Selesnya, there's no bad portion about being in Selesnya. Also here we'll be passing this Dreg Mangler, which is fine. Maybe lead the guy next to us into Golgari. But we'll go ahead and take an Eyes in the Skies here. And we are past some pretty decent Golgari cards here. The Key Rune is okay for a Key Rune. Ogre Jailbreaker is very good. Swift Justice is good for us. Looseway Scorpion also very good Golgari. We may be getting cut from some blue-green, but it's maybe too early to tell. The blue is still there with things like Skyline Predator, a Spirit Skywatch, and an Action Injunction. I'm not sure if I feel bad about taking a Swift Justice at this point in the pack. I don't know that I want to get led into black right now, black and green. I don't have a problem pulling some blue. I think right here we'll go ahead and just take this Swift Justice and see where this leads us. Leads us into a Tristani's Judgment, which is pretty good. Also Sunspire Griffin, a card I really enjoy. A 2-3 in the air is nothing to sneeze at. We'll be passing a little bit more black here. Grim Roustabout. Golgari Longlegs could be in Selesnya, or Golgari as well, Golgari Decoy. So as usual, it looks like Golgari is decently open, as I expect it traditionally to be. Just because I think at this point people have realized that Golgari maybe isn't the greatest of the guilds, but in that way, usually they get their top picks of all the potential Golgari cards. But right here, I think we can pretty much just take Tristani's Judgment and not have a real problem with it. Fall the Gavel is okay. Kraz the Monitor, Golgari Guildgate, Steal Our Secrets. Selesnya Guildgate. I think we can take a Selesnya Guildgate here and be okay. And we are treated to a Towering Indrik, which is okay. Also, Chorus of Might is fine. Runewing is fine. Axebane Stag. I think here we can probably just go with this Towering Indrik. It's a fine card. It's a decent blocker. It's good in green. And if we start just getting past insane stuff in pack 2, which I don't think we will from black, but if we do, I guess we can kind of go into Selesnya Golgari. Looks like here we're seeing a Sunspire Griffin, an Ethereal Armor, and a Sundering Growth. Sundering Growth is fine in your Populate deck. Ethereal Armor is okay as well. Obviously, this is more of a sideboard card. I don't know if we're going to ride the Populate train full steam, so right now we'll go ahead and take this Sunspire Griffin. It's just a better card, and it's really good in the part of the curve that we're looking to fill in right now. Stellar Songbirds is not terrible. This is pretty much, I think, where you should be picking it up, or where it should be available to you at this point right now in the draft, so that's fine. And another Seller of Songbirds. Would I play 2 Seller of Songbirds? I guess I would. I mean, I could just take a Druid's Deliverance and have a little bit more Populate. I might even do that, because I'm not really sure I would play 2 Seller of Songbirds at this point, because they can usually come around pretty late. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take the trick here. Selesnya Sentry or Dryad Militant. So Dryad Militant made it all the way around. I don't have a problem with Dryad Militant. It's a good early game drop, and I don't think that we are a hyper-aggressive deck right now, but I don't really have a problem taking it. So at this point, we're stuck with Horncaller's Chant, Search Warrant, Golgari Keyrune. I guess we'll just take the Keyrune here, and if we have to end up fixing a little bit into Golgari, we can. It's a late Golgari Decoy. That's a really late Golgari Decoy. Okay, well, we'll take the Golgari Decoy then. And we're stuck between a foil land and an island. So, yay, we'll take the foil. We'll take the foil plains. Okay, so not too bad. Right now we're looking at the beginning of a decent Selesnya deck. It could use a few bombs, like Collective Blessing. So yeah, Collective Blessing is amazing here. Let's see what we'll be passing. There's an Izzet Charm, which is good. Hero's Reunion is terrible. A Common Bond is very good. I doubt it'll wheel, but if it does, that would be amazing. We might see an Indrik or a Sunspire Griffin. That would be nice. Come back on the wheel. Even Aerial Predation, I do enjoy in my Aerial Predations, so I will certainly pick that up if it does come our way. But right here, this is a pretty easy Collective Blessing pick. Collective Blessing, the bomb that you generally need to win games, especially if you're throwing down little guys like little birds and things like that with Selesnya. Having them suddenly become 4/4s in the air is not something many people can deal with. So from there, our curve is looking a little heavy in that we have nothing in the 5 area and we have 3 6s so far. They're all quality 6s. Courses Accord is fine, Tristan's Judgment is fantastic, and obviously there's Collective Blessing. So really to fill in things in the earlier portion of the curve would be nice, assuming I don't see grotesque bombs in the later game. Knightly Valor is a fantastic card. Centaur's Herald is very good as well. Actually, this entire pack is pretty decent all around. There's things like Street Spasm, which is fine. Obviously, Knightly Valor for us, Courses Accord, and this Centaur's Herald. I think right now we can probably pick up this Centaur's Herald. We will be passing this Courses Accord and this Knightly Valor, which makes me really sad, but maybe we can see one of them on the wheel. Let's see here. I doubt we will, but you never know. We'll go ahead and grab that Centaur's Herald, though. That's exactly what we want for the early game, and to be able to populate. Wow, Wayfaring Temple. Yeah, I'll take that right away. If we're going to be doing this full steam populate thing, there's no reason not to have a Wayfaring Temple. Wayfaring Temple isn't always fantastic, but if I can pick up something like a Rogue's Passage, that would be great. I would really like to abuse Wayfaring Temple and Rogue's Passage together. That would be pretty fun. Here we see several good cards in common bond, which I'm really excited about right now. There's an Ogre Jailbreaker for someone who's in black, and a Void Wielder. Those are all fine cards. Avenging Arrow is your typical bad removal in white, but it is removal. And Dispel is very playable in this format, even to main deck. And then, of course, there's a Robbleback Rhino. If anything, I would like to see maybe something like a Robbleback Rhino come around. That would be fine. Even if I get this Selesnya Sentry back, I would take that as well. But right now, we can just snap up this common bond and be pretty happy about that. So we're treated to another Sunspire Griffin or another Centaur Herald. That is... I don't know if that's the toughest choice, but I think we can pretty easily just pick the Centaur Herald here and be very excited. Passing things like, let's see, Izzet Static Caster, Goblin Electromancer, which are fine cards. This Tenement Crasher is okay. I'm okay with Tenement Crasher. I don't mind playing that card when I'm in red. But here we can go ahead and take this Centaur's Herald. We're shaping up to a lot of 1-drops. Very, very interesting. Another really decent pack here. The Elocutors is not terrible. I mean, it's not like a bomb rare like Collective Blessing is, but it's definitely not terrible. A 3/5 creature for 5 is okay, and it has a potentially relevant ability. But also here we're treated with things like Eyes in the Skies, Azuria's Arrestor, and Axebane Guardian. And I think here we can take this Eyes in the Skies and not really think twice about that. So now, Concordia Pegasus is definitely the way I'm going to go here, but I'm just looking at everything else. Things like Aspira's Skywatch is also good, Armory Guard. But the Concordia Pegasus, we have nothing in the 2-drop area. And Concordia Pegasus is a fine 2-drop. Even if I could get things like Drudge Beetles and the Brush Striders, that'd be fine as well. Obviously, if I can get a Guild Mage, that would make my day, but I don't count on that. So we'll go ahead and take this Concordia Pegasus for our 2-drop. So now we're treated with things like Avenging Arrow and Soul Tithe. I don't know which one of these is better. Avenging Arrow is removal. Soul Tithe in the late game might just not be worth it. Might not just be worth it to have, but it can be removal, and it can slow down decks like a really fast Rakdos deck or something like that that wants to curve out immediately. It's actually kind of a difficult decision. I think we'll just go ahead and take this Avenging Arrow, and we are treated to another common bond, and that's a really easy pick. Go ahead and take that. And of course there's a Accord. I don't know if I'm going to play all these 6-drops, but it's not like there's anything else here that's really impressing me. The next best card here is maybe this Chemister's Trick if you can make it work appropriately, or the Tower Drake. I don't know, maybe they're equal. I don't know if Chemister's Trick is terrible or not. It shouldn't really be terrible. It's kind of a trick, and it could potentially win you the game in the next turn, but we're going to go ahead and grab this Courser's Accord. So a Stag, a Salvage, a Wreckage, they're all not great. I guess we'll take this Big Beater and probably not play him. So if it came down to another Avenging Arrow and a Selesnya Sentry, I think I could pretty much take the Selesnya Sentry here and not feel terrible about it. And yeah, we'll take the Azuria's Guildgate. That's fine. We might even splash a little Azurius. And sure, a Catacomb Slug, why not? And then this Mountain. So we can go ahead and hide that. And we still have nothing in the 5-drop area. So things like Knightly Valors would be fine. And also maybe just rounding out our 2 area a little bit would be nice as well. We'll see what kind of cards we open up. If we open up a Bomb Azurius card, at least we have a few ways, a few mana fixings that we can worry about right now to help us out. New Prof Guildmage is pretty good. Other things in here, well, actually there's a lot in here for black. There's a Skulkari Charm, which is not a bad charm. There's an Augur Spree, Trestle Troll's fine, Ogre Jailbreaker is good, there's Rakdos Guildgate for someone who wants some fixing. So really, I mean, it's between the New Prov Guildmage and the Sentry, and I think I can just take the Guildmage here and be okay with that. Worst case scenario, he's a potential 2/2 for 2. Best case scenario, I actually have enough fixing that I can splash him and maybe another good card from Azurius, and that would be nice. So I think we'll just go ahead and take the New Prov Guildmage. Chromatic Lantern is actually fine as well. It is a mon acceleration itself. I don't know if I want it right now, so we'll just go ahead and pick this new Prop Guild Mage. From here, we have things like Gatecreeper Vine, which is good. We also have the Centaur Healer, which is fantastic. We have another Gatecreeper Vine and an Eyes in the Skies. We could take something like a Gatecreeper Vine, but there is a very good chance of us seeing one of these other Gatecreeper Vines. So right now, I think this Centaur Healer is a fantastic card, and it's what we need in our 3 slot. And we're treated to another Centaur Healer or a Selesnya Charm. My God, oh my God, or a Centaur Herald. Ugh. No. I don't want to have to choose between all these good cards. Oh, I think the pick is probably going to be Selesnya Charm, but it just pains me. It just pains me to pass not only a Centaur Healer, but a Centaur's Herald. But Selesnya Charm is good. It's going to work in that 2-drop area, although most of our 2-drops are tricks right now. A majority of them are tricks, but we do have things like the Concordia Pegasus and maybe this Guild Mage. So we're going to take the Selesnya Charm and pass a whole lot of good Selesnya. Good gravy, another common bond. But right now I think we can take Knightly Valor, and that'll be just fine. This is right about where I want to be taking Knightly Valor. Although we are passing things like Indrik and that common bond, we're treated to things like Rootborn Defenses, which is a card I really enjoy. But we also have things like this Keening Apparition over here, which is a fine card as well. And this is a tough choice because I love Rootborn Defenses. I love this card so much. And it is a populate card, and we have very quickly jumped on the populate train. But I also like Keening Apparition. Keening Apparition is a fine card, and it's a way for white to deal with really, really annoying enchantments, like Collective Blessing. So, this is actually a difficult choice. And the fact that I have to make so many difficult choices makes me feel like I'm in the right color, which is fine. I think right now we can probably round out our curve and go ahead and take this Keening Apparition. It has some really good applications in the deck. Oh, yes. That is fantastic. Also an Azirius Key Rune to help with our mana acceleration. Ugh. I don't hate the Key Runes, but I don't think I like the Key Runes as much as I like the Centaur Healer. So we're going to go ahead and grab the Centaur Healer right here. So now we're treated to things like this Drudge Beetle, which is fine, or a Selesnya Key Rune. The Selesnya Key Rune is actually pretty good. I think we can probably hide this Golgari Key Rune by now. We're not really going to have to worry about that. Also Swift Justice, which is fine. But this Selesnya Key Rune, I think, is going to be pretty good for us. It is a 3/3 beater. It's fixing, and it'll get us closer to things like Collective Blessing, Tristani's Judgment, and our Courser's Accord. I'm not always like a big fan of Key Runes, but I don't mind having one on the deck. We are passing a Drudge Beetle, which is fine, and that Swift Justice. So here we are treated to a Phantom General. Man alive. Another Guildgate, an Avenging Arrow, Runewing. Yeah, the General is pretty much just a snap pick right here. We have several ways to get tokens out on the board right now. Selesnya Charm, Centaur's Herald, Knightly Valor, Courser's Accords, Eyes in the Skies. The General is looking real good. He's going to fit right in there. At this point now, I'm actually thinking I can start taking sideboard cards because we have so many playable cards. I mean, there's things that I would like to fill out the rest of our curve, like in our 5 slot. But we're looking at plenty of playable cards here to kind of do what we want. So I can go ahead and take this Aerial Predation and not feel bad about it in the least. And both Gatecreeper Vines came around, and that is great. We'll go ahead and take the foil one just because it's foil. Oh, another Centaur Healer. A trio of Centaur Healers. Yes, please. And another Guildgate is just what the doctor ordered. All these cards are not fantastic. We'll take the Seek the Horizon. There's probably no way in the world I'm going to play it. And a Tower Drake is fine. And this Swamp here. Okay, so the curve gets a little weird on the tail end in that we don't have things really messing with the 5-drop area, which is fine, I guess. I mean, what else would I really put there? Like maybe a Skyline Predator or another Knightly Valor, which would have been nice, but I do not feel bad about any of the cards that we've chosen. So let's go ahead and put together our deck here. I'll go ahead and throw in everything I want to play. And there's a lot. I don't know if we really need stuff like that. I don't even think we need to splash, quite honestly. And if I did splash, it would probably just get way too difficult for me to decide what I wanted in this deck. Alrighty. So yeah. Even cutting out our blue and white there, we've got 28 playable cards. So we have to cut 5 things. This is tough. This is going to be tough. Things that we have that are not involved with creature creation are, I guess we can move this Selesnya Charm down here. Avenging Arrow. These 2 common bonds. Let's see, those are good. This is like kind of a creature. And then this Tristani's Judgment and this Collective Blessing. Yeah, I guess we'll move it down here. Okay. So we can start cutting things that like I'm not amazed with. I think we can probably cut this Selesnya Sentry. The Seller of Songbirds is better in a couple of ways. One's it gives us a populate target, but more important than that, it gives us 2 bodies, which can be a potential for an extra beating from Collective Blessing, or even a Phantom General boost. Having the Phantom General turn that little bird into a 2/2 flyer isn't bad at all, and I think that's kind of what we want to be doing. So we still have plenty of cuts to make. I'll just go ahead and move these up here. We still have plenty of cuts to make. I think I really want to play this Selesnya Kieran. This trio of Centaur healers, I can't even think about touching those. Those are just way too good. I think maybe I can cut this Sunspire Griffin. At which point now I still have to cut 3 more cards. Let's see, creature-wise, we're looking at 13 creatures, 14 creatures, 15 creatures, 16 creatures, 17 creatures. Maybe I can cut a Courser's Accord. But right now, Courser's Accord is the only way I have of getting Centaurs on the field. Well, I have these Centaurs Herald. I shouldn't say that. So maybe I actually can cut one of these Courser's Accords. Maybe Militant doesn't make it. I think... I mean, I could cut... I don't really want to cut the Keening Apparition. 2 drops are fine. We have a decent amount of 1-drops in the Centaur's Herald. I think I can cut this Dryad Militant. At which point now I'm looking to cut 1 more card. I don't want to cut any more creatures at all. So it's going to have to be something from down here. I really want to keep Knightly Valor on the board. and I really want Tristani's Judgment, and I really want Collective Blessing, and I really want both of these common bonds. Maybe Avenging Arrow just isn't strong enough, but Avenging Arrow is a way to get rid of a creature card. Maybe Common Bond is just better. And Tristani's Judgment can get us there. That's a decent looking curve. The other thing I can do is clip out the Selesnya Keyrune and keep in something like the Avenging Arrow. No, I think the idea is we want to get to things in here in our 6-drop as fast as possible, things like Collective Blessing. Of course, there's a Court and Tristani's Judgment. I think I'm pretty happy with this. It was painful to cut these cards. It was just painful to cut every single one of those cards. But I think we're fine where we are. I think I can go submit this. We'll add some land real quick. We'll put in our guild gates. And 7 and 8 is probably fine. See what we have by color. I'm actually kind of interested that it gave us 7 and 8 when in fact we have this double. Well, I guess that does make kind of sense because we have this. We have one double cost, but then we have several other white drops. So yeah, I guess that's fine. I think we can go ahead and submit this, and I will see you guys for the first round.